So the next one we've got is, have you planned your exit strategy? So we'll put 5 minutes on this. Again, this was my one, but this is something that I think I'm thinking about now rather than waiting until the future. So if you've got a crypto bag, probably the hardest thing to do is look at when you want to sell projects, when you want to buy projects, and actually having a strategy for if you do want to try and make some money out of it. And people are in it for different reasons. So I think from the survey that we sent out to the community, a lot of people are in it for the tech. Some people are in it to make money. Some people are in it to be involved in projects. So it's quite a wide range of views people had. But the biggest thing is, if you are in it and you've invested money in it, what you probably don't want is to see your investment go from maybe up there to right in the gutter. And that's obviously happened in previous bear markets. We've had a bull run then a bear market. So we have got some videos that go along with that. So myself and Paula did one probably about 18 months ago. And we've updated it with a crypto tracker, which is for take profits and when to ladder out of any investments you've got. So that's where we're at with it. But what are people's views? I'd just be interested to hear on if people have got an exit strategy, if they are invested in cryptos, and what that exit strategy is. So does anyone want to share what their views are? No? Anyone?
I mean, I can
I'll
talk.
go. Yeah. You go first, Robert. That's fine. Yeah.
So yeah, it all really depends on what your goal is. So, I was a professional trader. I trade mostly stocks and options, and the golden rule is to never enter without knowing when you're going to exit. And so if you're going to be doing short-term trading, which I think a lot of us do, then you need to find that exit strategy before you even enter. And so I always look at the fundamentals and work out, what is my investment thesis and what's going to invalidate that investment thesis. And then I'm just continually monitoring, and I don't pay too much attention to market cycles. So I've been in crypto since 2013. So I've been through multiple bulls and bears, and you can try and time it, but most of the time you're going to be wrong. And if you can withstand the bear and just hold on and go through multiple bull markets, that's where you're going to be making the huge profits. And I've kind of moved away from wanting to even exit, because now I focus on just pure utility. I want to find those projects that are long-term holds and that I don't need to sell, and that I can stake and earn passive income. So I don't necessarily plan for an exit. I'm just continuously monitoring are the fundamentals still sound? Has my thesis been validated? If there's a security risk or reason to believe that the project's taking the wrong direction, then I will exit. But otherwise, I just want to continue on staking and earning that yields, and just hold for multiple bull markets and not just focus on just a single run, because that's not going to be where the huge profits are made. You got to withstand multiple bull markets.
Thank you for that, Robert. Chris G, I think you came off mute as well.
Yeah, sure. So I guess I would just challenge that assumption that there will be forever this kind of bull and boom and bust, and the cycle just continues forever. It comes back to this kind of searching for practical use of this stuff. If you look at other disruptive tech, like mobile tech or cloud or generative AI, the use cases were all over the place, and everyone was jumping over it. And and we're so 10 years into crypto, and everybody's still trying to find a solution to a problem. I would say it's not about exiting this particular cycle, whatever. It's working out when's the music going to stop completely from all of this stuff. And that's kind of what I'm sort of keeping an eye on at the moment now. It's kind of the house of cards is when that's going to come tumbling down.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what does happen, because the other thing is, I suppose, that you look for patterns with it, and I think we've got the halving coming up. So I think traditionally, I think it's about 6 months after the halving, things start to take off a little bit. But then the flip side of that is that because we've had that happen a couple of times before, people are expecting that. So you kind of look at it and think, well, is this lulling people into a false sense of security, so they can have the rug pulled out from under them, so to speak? Or yeah, are we going to keep following those cycles? And you've got the law of diminishing returns as well. So each time things have started going up, you might have had less of a return on it if you look at things like Bitcoin as an example of that.
Well, we're getting it's all the on-ramps and off-ramps from the traditional financial system into crypto are slowly closing down, particularly the on-ramps. It's harder and harder to find a bank that will let you upload real money into a crypto exchange anywhere these days. So I feel that the massive liquidity that's fueling all this from just the average Joe wanting to put in sort of $200 or $300 here and there, they're finding that those doors are closing, and that's part of this regulatory thing we're just talking about. So I don't think there is that much cash to be just pumped willy-nilly into whatever meme coin is going these days.
I think I've definitely seen with a lot of the banks, they've not necessarily stopped it going in, they've just restricted amounts that can go in. So I think a couple of the banks I bank with have restricted the amount, something like £5,000 a month or something like that. So, but yeah, I think in America, that's obviously we've seen the collapse of a number of banks that were crypto friendly as well. We've got a comment from Ivan saying DCA is a good strategy with good liquidity pairs and good fundamentals. So that's a good point. John, sorry, we'll come to you as well, because you came off mute as well.
Yeah, just to say, I've been in this space a couple of years now, so I'm still somewhat of a novice, and I agree with what Ivan said about the DCA method. I'm kind of a long-term hodler, invested in NFTs for longer plays, hopefully some mileage in that, and just again, yeah, sourcing the strong products, the good fundamentals, and making sure over the bear market I'm positioned well to make a positive period when we hit the next bull run. Yeah, but I agree with Chris and the fact that there's still a lot of smoke and mirrors, and it's trying to find, doing your research and trying to find the most appropriate ones pending the next bull run. But it's very risky strategy if you're trying to make the big bucks in one cycle, that you need to be playing and be in the space for the longer term, I think, to make it a more positive experience.
Yeah. So just to cap that off, because we'll finish topic there. The point of the sheet, and the link is the links to the 2 YouTube videos that go with it are in the link coffee table. It's more a case of, rather than trying to time the market, it's having a strategy where you gradually, when you hit certain points where a token or coin has gone up to a certain level that you've not done emotionally, so you've planned it in advance. So it's working out what points you want to take profit, so you're not going in there getting carried away with all the YouTube influencers and so on, and just letting it ride, and then all of a sudden it's down in the gutter again. The other thing, I thought it was just worth mentioning. Someone mentioned, I think it was Robert mentioned staking as well, and that's a really good point. So if you're looking for passive income, some of these tokens or coins will provide that. One of the things to, I suppose, be aware of with that is that if you're getting staking rewards in most countries, that will be classed as an income, which means it will be subject to income tax. Whereas you do get in a lot of countries as well a capital gains tax allowance as well. So again, if you're looking at tax efficiency and things, especially if you're a high rate taxpayer or a taxpayer at all, working the balance out between what you're going to be taxed less on and what impact your staking rewards will have on your income is worth doing as well. Especially if you've got things like the market dropping, because if you're getting staking rewards, you'll be taxed at the point you actually got them, but that investment might actually go down. So there's a lot of stuff to consider with that. But what we'll do, we'll finish that there. So really good discussion.